The people of Miami are not as suave and dapper as you would think. The typical Miamese, outside of the downtown area, was unassuming and dressed up for the weather. Up until the moment that I was stranded, hot and helpless under that damn sun, I never quite understood the sacred power of the parasol. But the locals, they knew exactly what they were doing. These people were like sun worshippers on the edge of sanity, raising those billowy umbrellas like Greek spears in Troy against the wrath of Apollo himself, like they were fighting some sort of ancient battle. A quiet, unspoken kind of wisdom. Damn it, I had to give them credit. It worked. Meanwhile, there I was, baking like an idiot in the middle of all of it. I felt like an alien. The prominent racial demographic in Miami belongs to the blacks, followed up very closely by the Hispanics. The only other white people I ever saw in Miami were at the airport or on the beach. But I must remain specific. The blacks in Miami are not like the blacks in Upper Harlem or Chicago or South Central. These blacks were of Haitian descent and spoke their own bastardized version of Creole, a mangled dialect so dense it would make a cobra's hiss sound like a Shakespearean soliloquy. And there were so many of them. Too many, really. I was surrounded by it, drowned in it. This unintelligible buzz that felt like it was closing in, creeping under my skin, until I couldn't tell if I was paranoid or just out of my goddamn depth. This isn't racism. I was surrounded by it, drowned in it, etc., etc. Fuck, who am I? Where do I belong? What the fuck am I doing here? Who the fuck is even up there in the sky, laughing at me? I met this man, though meeting is too generous, really. A brief and pointless confrontation of souls in the middle of some god-forsaken nowhere. He called himself Drifter, standing at about 5'6", with that air of somebody who thought he could come at me like I was supposed to be intimidated. But there was something off about him. I could feel it, like a bad taste in the air. He was harmless, sure, about as threatening as a fly buzzing around your ear. But that didn't stop the uneasy sensation that he was angling for something, just waiting for the right moment to make his move. He was dressed in full-on leather in a way that would probably even earn Judas Priest royalties. Despite his dwarf-sized frame, he was strapped down with no less than 12 blades, plus whips, chains, and some ridiculous Norseman's beard that probably smelled like wet dog. He wore it all like he was ready for a Viking blood ritual or a goddamn heavy metal concert. And his face, a don't give a fuck attitude that screamed, "Yeah, I know I'm full of shit, but you don't have the balls to call me on it." Drifter was on the hunt, you see, and for some reason we circled each other like sharks. Not necessarily adversarially, just something attendant to the task that we both needed to get shit done. I later learned that he was the block boss. These people are weird. I used to see the sack, now I'm seeing the tit. Well, shit. I came from a land where people used to explain everything. That land doesn't exist anymore. I even used to think it had a name. These people in Miami are different animals. Drifter looked me square in the eyes, and even though I had at least 5 inches on him, the little bastard didn't flinch. And that's what I ended up respecting. It wasn't his ridiculous outfit or his absurd need to dress like a reject from some bad metal album. No, he was chasing after some double-over puke factory and pregnant freak of nature, just trying to make sure they were still breathing. And I got to admit, there was something almost honorable in that. He didn't give a damn about his get-up or who he was trying to impress. He was just trying to keep those freaks alive. Hell, he never even pulled one of those 12 blades. Never needed to. And that's the thing about real men. They don't need to show you how tough they are. I think we got each other on an animal level. We stared at each other about a second each, and then moved on. I think we respected the beards. That he was the kind of guy who would make kneecaps into rock oysters if it was called for. Drifter was more interested in keeping order than he was actually into being violent.